Keir Starmer seems to have said, or has said, I should say, that Diane Abbott is free to stand as a Labour candidate in the general election. He was speaking to the Press Association, Natasha.
Yes, so he's been doing a pool clip with broadcasters and speaking to the media today as he has been in Scotland talking about Labour's plans for Great British Energy. He has now said Diane Abbott is free to go forward as a Labour candidate at the next election. So after days of him saying no decision has been taken, it seems now that he's had a major U-turn, a major change of heart, and is okay for Diane Abbott to go on and stand. He said that it ultimately is a matter for the NEC.
Well, we don't know it's a change of heart about the decision. It's a change of heart about whether to say what the decision is.
True,
I suppose.
It's from talking to people the last few days, it very much seemed like Sir Keir Starmer and there was some back channels with Diane Abbott about whether she would go on and stand or not. And obviously the decision to give her the Labour whip back after so long of this investigation, seemed to be an indication to many that there was some sort of deal going on behind the scenes. We weren't quite sure whether it meant that Diane was going to go on and stand or whether she would be able to then step down with dignity, which is a lot of people in Labour thought was the best. Keir Starmer obviously trying to make this argument that the Labour Party is a changed party and that he wants to distance himself from the previous administrations of Jeremy Corbyn, of Diane Abbott. Obviously, she played a huge part in that.
He was in that administration.
Yes, it's true. But now as the Labour leader, he wants to show that he's doing things himself. He's doing it his own way. So obviously this was Keir Starmer just speaking just a few hours ago at the Labour launch. He said just then that no decision had been taken.
Well, no decision has been taken, so that's the factual position. No decision to bar Diane. Obviously, she's got the whip back and she's been a trailblazer for many years. But the fact remains, no decision has been taken.
Is it possible that the journalism about this is what's done for them, in a way, in that, you had Victoria Derbyshire revealing that 6-month or more gap since the investigation had been completed. Then you had the Times reporting about the very deal, that you were talking about. And those are interventions that maybe the NEC and the Labour leadership just were not expecting to come out. And so it's bumped them into having to change their whole approach to the thing.
Potentially, but equally, this was always going to come to the front because of this is the week before those candidate selections will be rubber stamped by Labour's National Executive Committee. And this is the week where they had to make a decision about whether to let her back in the party or not. But in the last 24 hours, we've seen Angela Rayner come out and say, I don't know why, there's no reason why she can't stand. We've seen Sarwar say exactly the same. He's Scottish Labour leader. Was this the paving of the path for him to come back and to change his mind? Was Angela Rayner and Sarwar sent out to sort of make this message for the Labour leader and to give the path back? Was that a tacit endorsement that was potentially coming? There were some newspaper reports last night that there could be a change of heart from Sir Keir Starmer, that he could allow her to stand. He has now said in a poll clip that Diane Abbott is the first black woman MP, has been a real trailblazer, has carved a path for others to come into politics. The whip has been restored to her now, and she is free to go forward as a Labour candidate. Look, that was not that last line. He did not say that for the past 3 days. He did not say the words, she is now free to go forward.
He didn't say it earlier this morning.
Didn't say it earlier this morning. So it does appear that the Labour leader has, at some point in the last week, had a change of heart. There were people that were briefing the Times newspaper, whether that was friends of Diane Abbott who've been told that she wouldn't be able to stand, or whether it was within the Labour leadership camp.
We don't know yet.
We don't know who was briefing the Times newspaper about those stories, but saying very defiantly that she would not be able to stand, and that obviously the Labour leadership have really sat on their hands with this decision into her. They obviously had that investigation, according to those Newsnight reports, concluded absolutely months ago, December, and they did not give her any sort of indication, and it seems like it's been quite up in the air for months about whether she would be allowed to stand at all. And some people close to her think that was an attempt to try and time her out so that she would hopefully say, actually, I've had enough of this. I've been an MP for long enough. I've been an MP for 37 years. It's time to bow out and do something else. But look, they have been completely stumped by, obviously, this huge rows have really overshadowed the last few days of campaigning for the Labour Party. I think they've obviously taken a decision. Well, do we wait until next Tuesday when this Labour NEC
a whole weekend of news, Sunday papers, and
getting asked about it absolutely at every press conference, and it really slightly dominating. They maybe have decided to give the green light to Diane to avoid a weekend of chaotic headlines.
As my mum and dad would say, they've made a right hames of it.
I think that's fair to say. I don't think this is exactly how it probably would have been handled in an ideal world. I don't think anybody really saw this one coming quite like it did. But obviously, it has been rumbling around in the Labour Party for such a long time, and people were really clear. They wanted a decision on what to happen to Diane Abbott. I think, obviously, in terms of our callers, in terms of our listeners, people have obviously got an issue on this. And she's such a well-known figure in the Labour Party as well.
Well,